Danielle, 48, hosted her strip-o-rama burlesque show on Friday, October 4th at the Skylark in Rock Island, Illinois. Danielle, whose stage name Danny Diesel, hosted the show as she introduced her other dancers throughout the evening. The U.S. Sun can reveal exclusive photos and videos from the night of allure and seductive charm. The American Pickers star kicked off the festivities with a performance as she seductively danced to the Cypress Hill song Hits from the Bong with two large feathers as props. Danielle kicked off the performance by lighting a joint. The stoner theme did not stop with the music as she suggestively wafted green feathers that seemed to evoke marijuana leaves. Danielle showed off her beautiful figure in a green bejeweled corset and matching headpiece for the performance. She topped off the risk look with a ruffled see-through robe. Danielle then slowly stripped down as she wore just marijuana leaf pasties and a matching thong towards the end of the performance. During the performance, which lasted around 6 minutes, Danielle thrusted, twerked and more as her seduction had the crowd cheering all throughout the dance. When Danielle finished, she introduced the rest of the dancers, who gave sultry performances of their own with different themes. At one point in the show, Danielle encouraged the audience to participate in a game. She had guests crumble their dollar bills and throw them at her, specifically aiming for her bare butt. Danielle yelled, "Bring me some money," as she bent over and allowed the audience to hit her butt with the bills. "It's a big target. Come on, you got this. Right on the rim, you got me," she laughed, as she added, "This is what it feels like to run the world right there." Then later on in the show, she had the audience aim for her breasts, as she jumped up and down while audience members tried to hit her assets with their bills. "You can get close. We don't bite unless we feel like it," she said. After the final performance, Danielle thanked her fans for their support. "I feel the love in there tonight. I feel it deep, deep, deep down in my bones. You're an amazing audience. We love you. Thank you for being here with us." The show was a family affair, as Danielle's daughter Memphis collected tickets at the door. Danielle's family and friends were also in the audience. Dollars were available at the door for audience members with larger bills, as they also provided a Venmo account for tips. Around 40 audience members were in attendance for the show. There was a relaxed atmosphere as fans were allowed to openly film the sultry action on their phones. Her upcoming shows and workshop classes are available on her website. Sad loss. The show was a much-needed distraction from the passing of her longtime co-star Frank. Frank died at age 60 on September 30, 2 years after suffering a debilitating stroke. Danielle posted the day after Frank's passing, "Frank, I will miss your ability to make everyone laugh, your love for talking tattoos, your epic collections, but what I will miss the most are those little glimpses of vulnerability from time to time. Frank, you loved your cat and your mama, and we bonded on those things. You will be missed for all of these reasons and so many more. Rest in peace, Road Dog." Frank appeared on American Pickers from 2010 to 2020. Health crisis. Frank suffered a stroke in his Iowa home in July 2022 that left him in and out of the hospital and rehabilitation through the years. Frank was wheelchair-bound after suffering the stroke. He can walk, but he's always going to need the wheelchair because he can't walk long distances, a friend told the U.S. Sun. "Basically, you lose motion. He lost motion. A stroke can affect your left or your right side. It affected his right side." The U.S. Sun reported a conservatorship was filed for Frank in August 2022, just weeks after the stroke. Because of his stroke, Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to care for his own safety or to provide for necessities such as food, shelter, clothing, or medical care, without which physical injury or illness may occur, documents obtained by the U.S. Sun read. Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to make, communicate, or carry out important decisions concerning his own financial affairs. Decisions must be made for Mr. Fritz's care and placement while he continues to recover and receive treatment for his injuries. The appointment of a guardian and conservator was deemed necessary to avoid immediate harm to him. New season. Season 26 of American Pickers Premiered on October 9 with Mike, 60, and Robbie Wolf, John Jesse John Saleh, and Danielle. In an exclusive interview with the U.S. Sun, Frank's close friend Jerry Gendreau revealed he would have returned to the show had it not been for his health issues. Mike came up with the idea for the show. Mike was smart enough to know the show would be perfect with Frank, Jerry said. My analogy of the two, Mike and Frank, was like Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. Jerry Lewis, Frank, was just as important, or maybe even more important for the show. It's very hard to be the Jerry Lewis all of the time. I think Frank would have went back, but he had his health issues. And he did have some serious health issues. From 25 or 30 on, he suffered from Crohn's. Crohn's is a bowel disease that causes inflammation in the digestive tract. Jerry explained how Frank became a fan favorite on the show because of his spontaneity. He was truly the comedian who popped out with some of the weirdest and dumbest things that you just go, wow, Jerry said. He made a mark on history.